In the light of the coronavirus outbreak, the government has announced a number of measures in a bid to encourage retention of employees and ease short-term cash flow concerns that are expected to be faced by certain local businesses. These initiatives are mainly targeted at those businesses that are suffering a significant downturn in their turnover as a result of the economic constraints arising from the pandemic. Some of the most important policies to mention include a deferral of tax payment without penalties and interest. This includes income tax, employee taxes, and VAT, amongst others. There is also a bank moratorium, both for the personal and commercial loans. Another policy and initiative by the government is the COVID-19 Guarantee Scheme to support businesses through loans to cover eligible business costs such as salaries, rental costs, energy, water bills, fuel, and trading stock. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list, but it highlights the main costs of a business. There are also additional funds to the health budget to fund additional expenditure necessary for acquiring health-related equipment and supplies required to fight COVID-19. From unemployment and social measures, the government included new policies in terms of forced quarantine leave and grants to employers whose business suffered mostly due to the forced lockdown. Social measures would include, for example, parents of school-age children who cannot go to work, and also persons with disability. There are also aid supporting teleworking facilities. Of course, this is not all. The government is including, updating, and coming up with new policies and measures as we go along. The biggest challenge of all during this pandemic crisis is the uncertainty of how long this will take and its overall effect on the economy at large. Certain global thinkers predict that the pandemic will change the economic and financial order forever. Our Maltese government will keep on monitoring the situation both locally and globally, and will try to anticipate the impact from a financial, economic, social, and political perspective and implement policies and laws accordingly. Specifically on the residency and citizenship by investment programs, it will be too early to predict whether there will be changes in terms of eligibility or requirements. The program itself already gives options in terms of investment, such as the option to rent instead of buying the residential property. Changes to the program are not excluded, but if there have to be changes, in my opinion, they will be more motivated by the changes happening on a macro level rather than the program itself. Example, if this global pandemic leads to stagnation, as it is highly predictable, in terms of investment, be it stock, shares, real estate, new business, hence job creation, and so on, the government will take this into consideration and can adjust the requirements to the programs accordingly. What will not change, again in my opinion, but I can say with certainty, is the fundamental principle on which such investment programs are based. That is, attracting talented people and applicants to our country who are clean in terms of their personal due diligence and their source of wealth. Our rigorous due diligence process in order to get the application approved will remain.